Your English-speaking brain is not working against you when you learn Hebrew. You just need someone to teach you how to use it. That is the foundation of how I teach. And it is why my students get Hebrew from day one instead of spending months feeling lost. Here's how it works. There are 4 main keys to transitioning from English to Hebrew the smart way. Key 1 is knowing which elements in Hebrew work similarly to English. And there are many more than you would think, and which ones are different and need tweaking. Once you know this, you stop fighting with the language and you start working with it. Key 2 is the sounds. Some Hebrew sounds you already make in English and keep exactly as they are. Others need a specific adjustment. Knowing which is which and exactly how to make that shift is what gives you clarity and confidence in Hebrew. Key 3 is vocabulary. And this is where your English-speaking brain gives you a serious head start because there are entire categories of words that you already know because we use the English words. You just don't know you know them yet. And today, I'm going to show you how it works by teaching you a combination of the vocabulary key with the 4th key that is the pattern key. Because in my world of how to get you long-lasting progress fast, patterns are like a chef's kiss. Before we dive in, there is one important thing you need to know. The Academy of the Hebrew Language, the official body that oversees the Hebrew language, assigns official Hebrew words to many modern concepts, including English ones, formal, proper, dictionary-approved words. And then there is what Hebrew speakers actually use. These two do not always match. I teach you Hebrew as it actually lives in conversation, in text, in prayer, in scripture, in Israel. Hebrew as the organism that it is. And in that living language, there is a very common and consistent phenomenon when it comes to modern Hebrew. We take English words and we place them inside a Hebrew pattern. The word changes a little, but it changes in the exact same way every single time because it is a pattern. It is a template. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that this is exactly how I teach because one pattern gives you dozens of uses at once, which means that every minute you spend learning Hebrew, you grow your clarity and your confidence exponentially. So let's master it right now. In the category of words that describes fields, qualities, characteristics, think normal, classic, active, historic. There are so many words. We simply use the English one placed into a Hebrew pattern. When the English word ends with IC or ICAL, the Hebrew pattern is removing everything after the letter I, which now becomes the last sound of the word, making an E sound, marked in my phonetic system, the PSP, with double E, EE for clarity. So biological becomes biologi, biologi, biologi. Psychological becomes psychologi, psychologi, psychologi. Technological becomes technologi, technologi, technologi. We always apply the sounds we have in Hebrew. Those specific tweaks I was talking about when we transition from the sounds we have in English to the sounds we have in Hebrew. That sound transition is part of what you master inside Practically Speaking Hebrew, where I take you through all the sounds we have in Hebrew, which ones you already make in English and can keep, and which ones need a specific shift. But the pattern itself, one rule, every word follows it. And here is how it keeps on going because that is the beauty of a pattern. Political becomes politi, politi, politi. Automatic becomes automati, automati, automati. Historical becomes histori, histori, histori. Specific becomes specifi, specifi, specifi. Classic becomes classy, classy, classy. Critical becomes kriti, kriti, kriti. And when the English word ends with AR, AL, or IVE, the Hebrew pattern adds the same E sound using the same yod letter at the end like this. Optional becomes optionali, optionali, optionali. Popular becomes populari, populari, populari. Passive becomes passivi. 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 Digital becomes digitali. 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 Normal becomes normali. 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 Intensive becomes intensivi. 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 And the list is much longer than this. I wanted to show you the most commonly used ones. Some of these words have an official Hebrew alternative, others don't. Either way, all of these are words that you can and should use with Hebrew speakers. One pattern, dozens and dozens of words, all already living in your English-speaking brain, now available to you in Hebrew. This is the vocabulary key and the pattern key working together. When you start hearing these words in the news, in songs, in conversations, your brain will catch them immediately. Not because you drilled them, because you already knew the English core and now you know the Hebrew pattern. That transition from English to Hebrew is what practically speaking Hebrew is built on. If you're already in, add these words to everything you know. If not, this is exactly the kind of work we do together inside the program. And if you're wondering right now, what programs do you offer? Which one is the best fit for me? I only have two because they're really all you need. Practically speaking Hebrew is where you learn how to stand on your own in Hebrew. Speaking, understanding anything you hear and anything that you read if you know how to read. If you want to learn how to read, that is my second program, my reading and writing program. Hebrew 1, 2, and 3 complete all your reading and writing skills both in modern and biblical Hebrew, and you can complete it in days. In both programs, you get lifetime access to the program and to me as your personal teacher, giving you feedback on your work and answering any question that you have so you never get stuck. All the links are in the description. And if you are not subscribed to my channel and you want to understand Hebrew, you want to learn it as the living organism that it is, get clarity and confidence using my simplifying method, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching. Toda rabah. And here are the best videos to watch next. See you next time.